Welcome back to the channel, guys. I feel like I've been apologizing a lot lately for not uploading, but to be honest, I'm broke. I have no money to be putting anything into any vehicles at the moment, and so that's why there's lack for of the content. So I do apologize about that, but today we are back at CLS and we are currently going to be working on a 2022 Toyota RAV4, or what is it? 4Runner. Yep, so it's gonna be the Toyota 4Runner, and what we're doing is installing the new TJM front bumper. Here it is for you guys to see. And then there's a couple more boxes here that we have not gone through yet. And yes, I know this is not the 4Runner, but we will be pulling this out currently. The customer will be coming by soon, and we'll have all this put in. So if you guys are planning on installing this particular bumper on any of your newer vehicles, at least we'll have a kind of a how-to-ish, and most importantly, you'll know how it looked like on one of the brand new 2022 4Runners. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys here, or stay tuned. We'll have it mocked up for you guys here shortly. So part of the mess, we're still currently working on the MR2, which is taking forever to do. If you guys want to see anything about that, go over to the Hella Stance YouTube channel. You can see that. But here is one of the first silvers I've ever done, which according to Corey is pretty difficult to do. And I honestly think I did a pretty good job, other than a few dirt here and there, but a little wet sanding and some buffing and polishing will be all fine. I did run it right here in this area. Kind of hard. There it is. So a little clear coat run. Like I said, the buffing and sanding, they'll take it right out. But this is also going on to the 4Runner as well. So we'll be swapping that over here as soon as the customer shows up. All right, guys, so the customer is here, and now we are currently working on taking off this bumper here, and then we could work on the fender right after that. So one of the reasons for replacing the bumper was actually because of an accident. And like I told you guys earlier, the fender and this fender flare piece, or the plastic piece, is already painted. So once we get this all off, I'll show you guys how it looks. All right, quick update for you guys. So we've got the bumper off, and I'll come over here and show you guys real quick. So there's a few things that's wired up to it right here. We have to take that wire off. That goes straight to the frame. And also right here, there's another one that needs to come off. And then we hit these two 10s right here, and that's what took that off. And then obviously the clips up top, and then these clips here. And there's a few on the side and along the bottom. So we did disconnect the fog light here and here, but it looks like the harness comes out with it, so you don't need to disconnect the fog light. But we got that out. Like I said, when you guys take it off, just be kind of careful. Once you get all the clips off around it, it did take a little bit of pressure just to pop it off. So once it pops off, then you'll see a couple of these here and there that are still connected. Once you pull those off, then the whole bumper comes right out. All right, guys, so I'm not quite sure where I left off with you last, but fender is in, and getting this to bolt up to this is actually a really big pain. So it says on the instructions to leave them loose. Believe me, leave them loose. And then there's also a washer that needs to go in between here. Otherwise, that would void the warranty. So we were reading up on that here a second ago. So we have to pull this bolt back out, stick a washer in there, one on the front, one on the back. So this in particular one is going to be taking 3 washers. This is where we cut for it to go around, but it looks like we need to cut a little bit more off. So there's that. And then now that this winch plate is in, we could now put the belly plate on. I believe that's what it's called. And then the big bumper will go back on. And then here's some of the side panels that will go on top of all that. So I think we're about like 4 or 5 hours into it. And probably got a couple more hours left. But Another thing was some of these don't really line up very well as well or when you're putting it on. So what we did was we actually got one bolt in, and it also used the factory bolts. So we got one bolt in there, one bolt up top, and then we used a what the hell is that? A jack to kind of get it up. And then same thing with these. These will actually bend a little bit as well. So that's why you keep all this loose. And then once everything's good, you tighten all that up, then you tighten this up. And then when you tighten that up to clamp it, you'll actually see this kind of bend in a little bit as well. So those were some of the problems that we were having with it so far. And then I think we're also reading on something that the original OEM bumper needs to get cut because the top part needs to go back on it. So that's going to be fun, but I'll update you guys when we get after we get the belly pan on and we get the front bumper on, then I'll show you guys how it looks. All right, guys, so like I was saying earlier, we'll have to chop up the OEM bumper. So far, we just took off just some of the plastic pieces that holds the fog lights in. And then there's also this little plastic piece on the bottom. So let's get this turned around real quick. See what we're working with. Alright, so here we got the bumper, and it's saying that we're gonna have to chop somewhere right around this area right here. And I think it goes all the way to where the fog light is. So we might even have to chop some of that fog light piece just so we could cover this area. But we're gonna go ahead and work on it for a little bit and see where we're at here in a second, and I'll show you guys what it looks like after we get it cut. But like I said, since right here is a little damaged, I'm thinking what we're gonna do is probably just come up to about this area and then maybe take it at an angle. I'm not quite sure yet, but let's get this cut up and then we can mock it up and see where it's at. All right, guys, so this is where we're at. Bumper is up. So if you guys are planning on doing this, you do need to cut the top half off your bumper. So just keep that in mind. It's not a straight, complete bolt up. You do have to use part of yours. Unfortunately, when this side was hit, it messed up all this area of the bumper. So we're actually only going to be running the bumper. And then right when we get to about this area, I think we're just going to do a quick slant or something like that. And then, but that is aggressive. Can't wait to see how it looks like when we put the grill and all that back together on it. That looks pretty awesome. So, if you guys haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button. I know we're slowly but surely getting there. I appreciate it. So this is going to be the plan of attack. Obviously, this is the area that got hit. So we're thinking about leaving that area there, and then that we can always sand down, repaint. But a lot of the damage is on the bottom half, and this is obviously the bottom side of it. So we're thinking we're going to go right across, and then same thing on the other side. And we'll keep the top half, chop off this bottom half. All right, guys, so it's about almost 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm pretty beat. This bumper's got me pretty much kicked my ass, but we're almost there. So we trimmed it real nice all around. Oops, we trimmed it real nice right around this area. Now we just gotta get it to line up a little bit better. There's a couple more spots. Like right up in here, we had to cut, notch out that area. Looks like we might have to get a little bit more happening here. Corey's currently working on popping that back into the headlight. And then we got the grill back on. Here we go. And so there's a sensor right here for the grill. So that needed to, and then we had to take this off so we could get that on. So, and then that will go here. Hold the grill in place. But if you guys do tackle this, make sure you cut your bumper first, put it in, just leave a little bit of overhang on the bottom so the actual aftermarket bumper will cover over it. But this is how it's pretty much looking. I think All we have to do is get this top piece on afterwards. And then that's how the whole front end comes back together. So I'll get a quick clip of that and then call it for the video. All right, boys, so it's about 5 in the morning. I am extremely tired, but we did it. We got the bumper on. Everything's nice and tight. The grill is back on. Everything is real good, real tight. Obviously, if you guys do this to yours, you don't have to cut this area. The only reason we did is because this side was hit, as you can see. So all that will fall into place. All this right here, this will all go into, so all this right here will actually go into the bottom where this clips into the new headlight once that is ordered. But like I said, the only reason we cut that out is because this side was hit and it was already damaged and everything, and there was a huge hole right in about this area. So we just left it how it was, cut around it. But like I said, finally got it done. And that looks awesome, especially with these side runners. So, all right, guys, so if you haven't, please hit that subscribe button. That way I can continue making more content for you guys. I appreciate every single last one of you. I'll see you in the next video.